AEW held its Winter is Coming episode of Dynamite on Wednesday with Hangman Adam Page defending his AEW World title for the very first time against Bryan Danielson. And to answer a question that I had going into the show, yes, they had the balls to do a 60-minute time limit draw on TV. And what we got was a late contender for Match of the Year. Now, was the finish predictable? Sure. But I cannot hate on a match that good. Never felt like an hour to me. They paced it well. The commercial breaks hurt it. You know, viewers watching on Fight TV didn't have that problem, but watching on TNT, the pace of the ad breaks, it got ridiculous. The longer the match went, it just felt like there were an increasing number of breaks, which is why we don't see many marathon matches on TV like that. That and the fear that people will tune out and that they don't want to see a match that long. People don't want to see long matches that go 30, 45, 60 minutes on TV. Well, they proved that theory wrong on Wednesday. At least in this case, this was a match that people wanted to see. Now, the show did just shy of 950,000 viewers. 18 to 49 was down, though. That wasn't very good. I know Tony Khan talks about, and ballyhoos the 18 to 49 thing every week. And so that being down was not good. But apparently this show was a big hit with the 50 and over crowd. The NXT audience loved Dynamite this week. But the key were the quarter-hour numbers for the 60-minute match. They opened the show with a little over 800,000 viewers. 25 minutes into the match, they were over 1 million. And by the end of the match, they were over 1.2 million. That, boys and girls, is what you call growth, which is what you like to see. So if you give people something they want to see, whether it's 6 minutes or 60, they will tune in. Hangman hit the buckshot lariat. When he did, the bell sounded for the time limit draw. I didn't have an issue with it because I knew they weren't taking the title off Hangman in his first defense, but I also figured they're going to run this match back again at Battle of the Belts. They have a show literally called Battle of the Belts. 3 weeks after this show. And with that short of a turnaround, there wasn't enough time to really build up another challenger. So, of course, it looked like we were in for a rematch between Hangman and Danielson. Well, what need would there be for a rematch if Hangman just beats him clean, straight up, on TV? I mean, Tony Khan doesn't really like booking rematches very often. So if he's going to do one, there needs to be a reason for it, which meant you needed some kind of a screwy finish or a non-finish like a draw. This should not have come as a surprise to anybody watching this match. Now, Tony Khan confirmed on Busted Open Radio there will be a rematch. He just hasn't said when, but Battle of the Belts seems like a likely time. And maybe next time, if there's a stipulation, maybe it's 2 out of 3 falls, or maybe they make it a submission match, which favors Danielson, and that would force Hangman to have to come up with a submission hold that he could use. But this all has to be leading to a decisive Hangman win, and Danielson shaking his hand at the end in a show of respect to really put the guy over. That is the goal here. That should be the goal here. And as long as we get that to that outcome, then doing the draw here is absolutely fine. I get that it's frustrating to dedicate that much time to a match and not get an actual winner, but I also think part of the issue is you have a lot of wrestling fans. You have a lot of fans who grew up watching WWE, or they watch or only watch WWE. They are not conditioned to seeing time limit draws because WWE does not do time limits. And when they do occasionally do a time limit draw, which is rare, it is blatantly obvious that they're going to a draw, because why else would they ever bring up a time limit in a match in WWE? They don't do it. You know, AEW has Justin Roberts give time calls every single match. Over the PA system, he does a time call. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So you're conditioned to it. It's just an expected everyday part of the product. My only knock on it is that they just did a time limit draw with Danielson in September against Omega in their 30-minute match. I would not have done them so close together like that. That I would not have done. But outside of that, the match was so good, I can't imagine watching that, and when it's over, crapping all over it and being upset. I don't understand that. Also on Dynamite, they aired this great Malakai Black vignette that featured him spitting black mist into someone's face. We couldn't see who it was. Their back was turned to the camera. But at the end, he leaned in and he whispered in this person's ear. He says, "Now you're so much more than a king." And on the stream on Wednesday night, when I did my review, I said, boy, it seems like that's teasing the impending debut of Brody King, who has been working for Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor just ran its Final Battle show, and they're going to be going away for a while. He also currently holds one half of the PWG Tag Team titles with Malakai Black. And later on that same night, actually while I was doing the stream, we got some breaking news. Cassidy Haynes, I should say, on Bodyslam.net broke the news that according to multiple sources, Brody King has signed with AEW, and the deal may have been done weeks ago, right after the news of Ring of Honor's impending shutdown was first announced. I like the idea of there being a House of Black faction. I still think we could see Pac as part of it. He was misted in both eyes recently by Malakai. Brody King is a good pickup for them, and the Briscoes look likely to be next up from Ring of Honor. In their ongoing feud with FTR, FTR showed up at Final Battle and attacked them last weekend. The Briscoes this week uploaded a video saying they wanted Tony Khan to send them a plane ticket to fight FTR. And Dax Harwood replied to a tweet from a fan and said, "We came to their house, we beat the shit out of them, and we made them more relevant in 4 minutes than they've been in the last 4 years. They should come to Greensboro and give us their payday from Final Battle. I'm sure I could almost pay my light bill with that money." And Dynamite is in Greensboro on Wednesday for their Holiday Bash show, which is headlined by MJF and FTR taking on CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting in Sting's first match in Greensboro in 27 years. Greensboro, I believe, was the place where he challenged Ric Flair for the very first time for the championship on that Clash of the Champions show. That would have been back in 88, I believe.